सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। Third chapter. यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते। नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः। यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः। तदर्थः कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर। सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् येषवोस्त्विष्टकामधुक् देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः। परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ। इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः। तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः। So till now, Bhagavan Krishna has again and again told Arjuna, convert your karma to karma yoga. If you don't convert karma to karma yoga, that will give you bandhana. Lokoyam karma bandhanaha yajnartha karmanonyatra lokoyam karma. Yajna is a karma yoga. Other than yajna, any karma you do, you will get karma bandhana. Hence, if you want to be free and relaxed, do karma yoga. By doing karma yoga, not only you will benefit, dharmika, artha, kama, you will get the benefit, but society, the nature, everything at large will also benefit. Okay. So, yajnarthat karmanaha anyatra lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha. Anyatra yajnarthat karmanaha, other than yajna karma, apart from yajna karma, you do any karma, ayam lokaha karma bandhanaha, they will be completely bound to that karma. 3. Bandhakatvam, atruptikaratvam, dukkha mishritatvam. You start doing karma yoga, initially even karma yoga will be bandhana. This will be a little surprising thing to you all. I start doing some social service. Slowly it becomes my desire to do social service. Okay, so it becomes a desire prompted action. The more I do social service, the more I feel good about it, the more I want to do it. So it has that social service only becomes a way to exhaust your kamya karmas. But after a few days, you will mature out of it. Then it becomes nishkama karma. Now, even if I miss it, I have no problem. Next day, I will continue to do it. Some days I can do it, some days I can't do it. So, social service doesn't become a binding job now. Okay. So, initially, it will end up as kamya karma. That is why many people get very highly motivated. And after some time, oh, it is the same thing. Either they will drop it and go, or they will do it with full heart and mind without any expectation or anyone responding back to it positively or negatively. They are just doing it, and that becomes karma yoga. So it has to pass through that phase. The earlier you pass through, the matured you get, it is better. So karma bandhanaha, if you want to go out of it, the only option is mukta sangaha samachara. Without being attached to it, do karma yoga. And doing karma yoga without being attached is a very good example given is yajna. Yajna in English, as we call it as cooperative endeavor. When we say cooperative endeavor, people coming together, sinking their differences, aligning to a common cause, focusing on that, putting effort without any personal gain for the benefit of society at large or the nature at large, and whatever the outcome coming out of it gets equally distributed and everyone partakes the prasadam, then it is called a yajna. Okay, yajna is not done without a purpose. Yajna is done with a very clear purpose. But when you say a yajna, it is beyond individual person's goal. It is a collective goal. Okay, so when people are connected for a collective goal as a cooperative endeavor, sinking their differences, it helps in a big way to reduce this ego. The ego will get very nicely, it will teach you how to manage. There will be some times where you would want to put your point, and if it's a good point which is beyond just you, everyone will appreciate it. Some may not, but sometimes if it is your own desire which you are trying to put it as a social desire, that will also be snubbed. So, a nice way to understand the checks and balances whether I am trying to use yajna or cooperative endeavor to fulfill my desires, or I'm rising above my own desire and looking at a common bigger platform, and in that even my desires are. So yajna, that is why at that time yajnas were known to people. Arjuna understands what a yajna is, and that is why Krishna takes an example of yajna and starts. And now there are going to be a couple of things where this yajna spirit is going to be talked. When we say spirit, that cooperative endeavor is going to be talked about. Where drishta yajna is also there, and then later on he will say adrishta yajna is also there. Visible what we see of a cooperative endeavor, and there are certain things which are not visible to us, but the effect of it confirms that there is a cooperative endeavor, although we do not see it. We will see that. Okay, so we from here we go to the next shloka. Saha yajñah praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam येषवोस्त्विष्टकामधुके सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् येषवोस्त्विष्टकामधुके सह यज्ञाः prajaah srishtva. Saha yajñāh prajaah srishtva pura uvacha prajapatihi. Pura uvacha prajapatihi. Anena prasavishyadvam eshaha vaha astu ishtakamadhuk. Saha yajñāh prajaah srishtva pura uvacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam vaha ishta kamadhuk astu ishta kamadhuk. Okay. Saha yajñāh praja srishtva puraha uvacha prajapatihi. Puraha prajapatihi saha yajñāh praja srishtva anena prasavishyadvam yesha vaha ishta kamadhuk astu iti uvacha. Okay, this is how the Anvayam will go. Pura prajapatihi saha yajñāh praja srishtva anena yūyam prasavishyadvam yesha vaha ishtakamadhuk astu iti uvacha. So now he is, see, whenever this in a particular sentence, if that iti comes, there is a quotation. So here is a quotation which is given from the Vedas, told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita as a smriti. It is directly not pulled from the quotation, but it is translated and like that it is being told. Okay, what did he say? Pura prajapatihi. Very early, much before Pura. Okay, in the beginning of the creation, Pura. Prajaha, Prajapatihi. Prajapatihi means, Prajapati is Brahmaji. Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahma. So Brahmaji, he created, he is a generator, right? So he created. Now all this, now please do not bring Advaita here and say the world is not created. How can Brahmaji create? It only manifested. No. Here we are talking pure Dvaita. The world was created. Before that, the world was not there. Okay. So from Pralaya, Srishti came. Who did this? Prajapati. He did. Okay. What did he do? Prajaha Srishtva. Praja means apatyam, means children. Now Prajapati's children are what? Everything in the Srishti. Animals, birds, trees, human beings, everything. That is Praja. Prajapati is Prajaha Srishtva, having created. Okay. What did he do? Saha Yajñāha Srishtva. At that time itself, he created something called Yajna also. Okay. So Prajapati created the Praja and he created the Yajna. You will see what it is later. Just go with the word meaning how it is. He says, Anena, that means you all, Prasavishyadvam. You all, Prasavishyadvam, you may prosper. You may benefit out of this. By what? Vaha, to you all. Okay. Tvam tva yuvam vam yushman vaha. Okay. You all. Ishta kama dhuk astu. Ishta kama dhuk. Ishta means what you desire. Kama dhuk means your wants and your needs. Astu, let it be there. Uvacha. That's how he told. You say na, when someone goes, he gives a parting gift. So in last class I had mentioned, Kardame na praja bhuta mayi sambhava kardama Shriyam vasaya me kule mataram padma malini. Okay. Kardame na praja bhuta mayi sambhava kardama. I have created you, the human being, and I have stopped my ability of creation. Now I have transferred this to you. You can create, you can co create, you can do whatever you want, and you can enjoy it. In the similar terms, he says, Pura Prajapatihi. Now, why did he say Prajasrishtva Yajnasrishtva? Two things he created. Prajaha he created and Yajnaha he created. And then he said, you use this so that your desires are fulfilled. So there has to be a meaning for this. Prajasrishtva Ishtakamaduk Prasavishyadvam. Vaha Ishtakamaduk Prasavishyadvam is very clear. Prajapatihi, I'm going to speak little in Sanskrit, you will understand it. Prajapatihi Prajasrishtva. Having created the beings, living beings, Anena Prasavishyadvam. Now here Anena means mutually, together, with it. But we do not know with what. So we keep that because there is Yajna Srishtva is there. We'll see what is Yajna later. He says, along with it, Ishtakamaduk Astu. Let your desires be fulfilled. Correct? So which means only by Praja, Ishtakamaduk will not be fulfilled. Prajaha Srishtvaha Yajnaha Srishtvacha Anena Ishtakamaduk. So there is Praja, there is Yajna. Praja and Yajna together will fulfill the result, the desire. Is it clear? Is this clear? Okay. The first part is very, very clear and simple because we know Prajapati created Praja. Prajas are living and that is how their desires are getting fulfilled. And that continues like this till your pralayam, everything will continue like this only. Fair enough. Then why is this? He said, Yajna Srishtva Anena. To give that importance of Karma Yoga, Krishna very clearly says, at the time of creation itself, the creator created Yajna. Means what? Cooperative endeavor. Now, is Yajna cooperative endeavor here? And the answer is no. The subtle meaning of that is cooperative endeavor, but Yajna here means something different. Okay. Whenever there is a product which is created, the producer of it or the creator of it knows the best about the product. Yes or no? If there is a TV which is manufactured, a television, the television company knows the best and the maximum about the television other than others. Now, if Prajaha Srishtva, I am there, and if the TV is there, Anena Prasavishyadvam, if I have to enjoy from that, there has to be something else also to it. Without that, I cannot enjoy it. What? There is a television, I am there. Without one thing, I cannot enjoy the television. Don't tell me current and all. No. I need to know how to operate it, how to make use of it. I need to know what it is capable of, what it is not capable of, what is the best way to operate it, correct? Otherwise, how will I know how to use it? For example, if you take a 8 months old child and give the remote to the child's hand, child will just press something. But the child will not even understand what program, what it is, whether likes, does not like, want to change it. They have no idea about it, correct? So there has to be a instruction manual. So every product will have an instruction manual. And what is the job of instruction manual? To instruct how to use the product, the optimal way to use the product, how not to abuse the product, correct? How to get the maximum benefit out of the product, who can get the benefit, what is the benefit expected, how to operate it to get the benefit. All these are there in the manual. Do's, don'ts, everything is there. Who knows it the most? The user knows it or the manufacturer knows it? Obviously, the manufacturer. See, today things have changed. In many of the programs which you use, the user is never told how to use it, but always a feedback is taken. Programs are not material. How to improve it. So the manufacturer has got limited knowledge about it. Ideas are given by the user that this feature should be there, that should be there, this is easy, this is not easy, and accordingly the manufacturer changes the program. But if it is coming to a product which is a material, it is always the manufacturer who knows the best about it. Is it clear? So here, if Prajapati has created a product, shouldn't he create a manual for the product? When someone is born in this world, isn't it a very logical question? Why am I born? What am I supposed to do? How to do it? What is the objective of my life? Yes or no? This may look very, very surprising to all of us. Why? We have never asked this. Why was I born in this world? Whom to ask? And no one will give an answer. If you ask this question, they will say, yeah, shut up. You gone mad or what? Have you gone mad? What are you asking? Come on, come on. So, first question is, why am I born? If I am born, I have to interact with this nature and others. How should I interact? What is the purpose of my life? And to achieve this purpose of my life, how to make use of this life in the right way. And this is what the manual is supposed to give. Because Prajapatihi Prajasrishtva, Prajapatihi Prakritim Srishtva. He has created everything. So he is the only person who can give how to live together and yet achieve your goal. Right? And that is what we say, that manual is called the Vedas. The Vedas will teach you your purpose of life, the meaning of life, what to do in life, the SOP. All karmas are SOPs. Then how to grow, mature out, and what is the final purpose to get liberated so that you don't get life again. That is what the Vedas are supposed to teach. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Jnana Kanda. How to do it, what not to do. Satyam vada, dharmanchara, swadhyaya, anma, pramataha, acharyaya, priyandharamahritya, prajatantum, vyavachetsi, satyanna pramatitavyam, dharmanna pramatitavyam, kushalanna pramatitavyam, bhutyena pramatitavyam, swadhyaya pravachanabhyanna pramatitavyam, Deva Pitrakarya Bhyanna Pramatitavyam. Set of just injunctions. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. How to do this? Very clear. What to do, what not to do. Okay. Why is that required? Only by knowing that you will know how to live this life with a cooperative endeavor without harming, hurting others, yet fulfilling your legitimate desires. For that, the Vedas only teach us what is legitimate and illegitimate desires. Correct? Country to country, laws will change. The legal legitimacy will change. Moral legitimacy, morally it is correct, morally it is not correct. The Shastras will teach. Correct? Certain things may not be legally wrong, but are morally wrong. The Shastra teaches that. Okay, so very clearly, we need a rule book, we need a manual to help us to live life, and that is what is called yajna in this verse. Now you understand? Saha yajnaha prajaha srishtva. The way it is put as first is yajna, then praja. Correct? Never a human being is created and then the environment for the human being to stay. What will happen in between? It is always first the infrastructure is developed, then the user of it is coming in. Right or not? So first is yajnaha, the SOP is the manual, and then once that platform is ready, this prajaha comes in, and this prajaha with yajnaha anena together benefit prajaha. For what? Ishta kama dukha. Is it clear? Okay. So right from now, why is this yajnaha required? Another very, very, very big question. Why is this yajnaha required itself? Is this yajna or this manual useful to a cow, donkey, buffalo? Does the cow, donkey, and the buffalo say, 1 minute, wait, let me check the manual, then I will do the next step? Like our chemistry laboratory, you see the manual, add this to this, then you add this to this, then you see a flame coming out. Like that, does a donkey, monkey look at this Vedas and say that, oh, now this is how I have to live? They don't do it. Is it needed for them? Is it needed? No. For human beings, is it needed or not needed? As of now, we believe that it is not needed. That is why we have not learned it. That is why it is not taught also. Then what is taught? How to live to earn. How to earn to enjoy. Correct? There is a very old, it is like a Subhashita only. Aharartam karma kuryad ajasram. Aharartam karma kuryad ajasram. Syad aharam pranasandharanartham. Pranadharya tattvajnanartham. Okay, tattvajnane kopi dukkho na bhuyaha. For food, aharartham karma kuryad ajasram. I do multiples and multiples of jobs. Correct? Udara nimittam bahukrita vesham. Aharartham karma kuryat ajasram. Why do I need food? Syad aharam pranasandharanartham. Because I need to live. I need my physiological system to work properly. I need my health to be proper. I need to live. There is a prana. It has to function properly. For that I need food. And for food I need to do work. Very logical. Arey, but why should I have this prana? If I am born, I can't die. That is not the answer. Pranadharya tattvajnanat. If prana is there in human being, the only objective why prana is there is for you to understand the tattva satyam, tattva jnanam, atma jnanam. But why should I have this tattva jnana? Kopi dukkho na bhuyaha. You will never have any pain. Life will always be maja maja. Correct? So if you don't want pain in life, that means moksha. It starts from karma kuryat ajasram. What type of karma? Are you able to get how the link is? Karma, annam, annam, pranam, pranam, tattvajnanam, tattvajnanam, moksham, muktaha, no dukkha. So karma is connected to dukkha. If I don't consider these three, and if I simply do karma to remove my dukkha, I will end up with bigger dukkha. If I do not consider these three in between, annam, pranam, tattvajnanam, I will end up with a bigger dukkha due to karma. I want to remove dukkha by end up becoming into a bigger dukkha. So, animals don't need that because they are programmed. They have a program. They never flout the program. There is no bug in their program at all. Have you seen any elephant eating meat? Have you seen any lion eating kheer? However tasty it is, the person who says it is very tasty, swaha, he will be eaten, but not the kheer. Correct? Why? They are programmed. They will never break the program because that particular program breaking itself is not there in them. Correct? Suppose there is a law created in our country or in our state. What is the first thing we will do? How to break it intelligently. So we have a program. Animals don't have that program. If there is a law, they will just follow that law. And then no one needs to teach them the law because they are born with that knowledge. That is called cosmic intelligence. We are also born with that knowledge. Like any animal, we are also born that way only. Correct? But for us, Bhagavan has given something which is called intelligence to make use of it, to benefit us and benefit everyone. Unfortunately, our perverted intelligence does not consider others, and with that idea of limitation, everything is limited. Suppose everyone decides saying that we are all sitting in one room and we say that okay, the oxygen available is limited. I'm very certain in 1 hour we will try to kill the other person. Why? I need more oxygen. I have to survive more. On the other hand, if you look at animals, it seems I have heard, there are set of certain rodents. If their population increases, then the standard levels, they themselves, they know about it and they are sensitive, and there will be a mass suicide committed by them to maintain the balance. Okay. So our intelligence never does good to us. It is one of the biggest shatru to us. Why? It only looks at our benefit and never others' benefit. And this intelligence is called Purushartha. That is why we can plan for Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha, Purushartha. This Purushartha should be a boon using yajna and should not be a bane in the absence of yajna, doing things only for ourselves. Correct? Cooperative endeavor should be more than competing. The word competition is never there in our Shastra. This word called competition is not there in the Shastra, it is not required. Why? When you compete, after a point of time, you will break all the rules of dharma to win. And that is where the Shadripu comes in. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, everything will start working. Correct? But then you will ask, should not there be any competition for evaluation? Yes, that should be there. But the competition is not against someone. The competition should be with yourself. Have I grown better? There you can compete. It will help. But competing with others will never help. Learning from others, appreciating their what they have as good and imbibing that, trying that will help. But competing with someone else surely doesn't help. Let it be in any field. We see how many scams, how many issues are there, right from sports, you can take anything you see. If competition goes high, all the rules of Dharma are broken. And our world is sitting only in competing, just to prove one up than the other. Take your educational life, every student, 99.98%. Oh, you got zero point zero 0.01 less than 99.99%. That is how we look at competing. You look at professional life, competition, oh competition. How can I pull someone down and grow up? How can this company go up at the cost of some other company? Okay, just window dressing differently to fool everyone. Let it be product, let it be services, let it be companies itself. It is just standing on adharma platform everywhere. And no one to be blamed. 40, 50 years we work in this adharma and we expect that we will follow dharma. There is not even one person sitting here who would have felt that their office is the best place to work, where it is dharmika and where it is fair for everyone. No person will be there. If such an organization is there, that would have got closed many years back. Right? What happens when this grows more and more? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Again, it will come out. So, it is very natural that our intelligence will be used for ourselves at the cost of others, and overall the dharma will start coming down. Again, it will be upheld by Bhagavan. That is why Bhagavan created the manual. Always a manual and a law is created, made, then you have lawmaker, you have another department who will enforce the law. Any law which is not enforced is useless. It is redundant. It is as though the law is not there. So you need someone to enforce the law. And when you need someone to enforce the law, obviously there are going to be many ways how to circumvent the law, how to play a trick, how to grease the palms of the person who is catching me. Correct? And this is where test our we know it for sure. We only don't have value for it. That is why we are ready to stoop down to any level. And clearly Krishna says, Sahayajnaha Prajaha Srishtva. The people who enter the game and the rules of the game both are there in place. You use the rule of the game play a fair game, win and go. Correct? Any games you take, aren't there rules? Aren't there referees? Correct? Forget the competition, but everyone have to follow it. Then it benefits. Then it benefits. Now, if you take that and look at this universe, there are so many laws which are working, and they all work very cordially. If snakes increase, the rats will reduce. If the rats population reduce, the snake will have to reduce. If the snakes reduce, the rats will increase. So they will all balance each other. Cats and rats. That is why Janma Shatru have been made and kept. Bhagavan has made and kept very clearly. Right? There is a check and balance with everyone and everything, that they manage it perfectly. But for this human being, this check and balance is not there, because Bhagavan said that I'm giving you something which is intelligence, and you're that conscience which is going to control you, and for which that rule book is there. And we follow the rule book. But unfortunately, this rule book is not taught to us. So, praja srishtva, yajna not srishtva. What did our parents do? Praja srishtva. Yes or no? Did they forward the yajna? No. They said, go to convent school, learn all this, how to earn more. If you are able to earn more, if you are very sharp, you are brilliant, you pass in exams, you get best numbers, then you are called intelligent. Right? And that intelligence grows so much that it gives me suffering and nothing else later. Why? I do not know how to follow a rule book and be understand what are the constraints, the borders, how I should do. And the main thing is cooperative endeavor. Now in this yajna spirit, there is a small, it's a very nice way. It is our outlook what we are. Please understand this. This is something, don't consider that this situation is there today. No, it was there even during Arjuna's time. Otherwise, why should a dharma war be there? If everything was so good, why should a dharmika war be there? If Arjuna and Duryodhana, Yudhishthira is there, a Duryodhana will be there, a Dushasana will be there, a Shakuni will be there. If Rama is there, a Manthara will be there, Kaikeyi will be there, Ravana will be there. Correct? So they all coexist. Now the question is, what should we look and do? So it seems there were two rooms. Swami Chinmayananda gives this example. There are two rooms, and in both the rooms, similar type of people are placed. Now, both the rooms have got people with a particular disability. They cannot fold their hands. If the hands are straight, it will be like this only. They cannot fold their hands. Okay. There is enough food given in big vessels which are deep inside, and food is there. Now, all these people sitting in this room were terribly angry, disturbed, and they were very painful to such an extent that many of them were starving, and some people were in the verge of dying also. Because the hands, they can't fold it, they can't eat, it is too deep, they can't put their mouth and also eat. Similarly, in the next room, similar type of people were there. But there was music and merry going on in that room. And when you open that room and see, you see one person removing the food and feeding to the other person's mouth, the other person removing the food and feeding the next person. Like that, everyone are happy, all are eating. So everyone will have certain inabilities, certain limitation, and when we combine this, that is the time cooperative endeavor works. So it is our outlook to say, Bhagavan, why he has given this heat so hot? Oh my God, this rain doesn't stop at all. Or what best I should do with that? Is it clear? Karma Yoga is looking at an opportunity at every time to make benefit to everyone along with me. Can I make this opportunity beneficial to everyone? In the dharmic way. The moment I say to everyone, it automatically will sit in dharmic way. In adharmic way, you can make benefit only to few select. चार लोग मिलके चोरी करने का सोचे तो वो चार लोग ही कर सकते हैं. डोंट कॉल इट कॉपरेटिव एंडेवर. चार लोग मिलके चोरी करना भी कॉपरेटिव एंडेवर है, बट दैट इज नॉट यज्ञ. It should be beneficial to everyone who wants into it and who participates into it. Correct? And like that, if you see an opportunity which will benefit everyone, that has to be dharmika. That is beyond your arthakama desires. Is it clear? Whenever you look at it, you'll see there are so many opportunities that we can do. And when we do that, automatically Panchamahayajna is also getting fulfilled. Panchamahayajna are specific pointers to see if there is a possibility there to do something. Otherwise, if this becomes our nature, Panchamahayajna will anyway continue. Are we able to get this? So, Saha yajnaha prajaha srishtva. So, Prajapatihi prajaha srishtva, yajnaha srishtva, anena prasavishyadvam. Together, you should prosper. Ishtakama you should get vaha astu ishtakama because without this yajna, you may benefit. If you feel that you have benefited now, actually you are lost in a big race. Why? You are all alone whom you feel you are benefited. Okay, so cooperative endeavor is what Krishna is talking about, and it was much easy. That time to talk about it was very difficult. Today it is very easy. When you look at it, everyone are talking about sustainability, living with the nature, going green, so many words, correct? And these things were not required that time. Why? No one was trying to do pollute at all. Like last time I mentioned, if you remove anything from its habitat out, then you will have to put additional efforts to maintain the balance. Anything out of the Pancha Mahabhutas, you remove anything from its habitat out, you have to put extremely high effort and resources to restore the balance, because it will become imbalanced. Maintaining this balance is called yajna. I cannot restore the balance, but I will not do anything which is going to disturb this balance. That much we can do. I will not do anything that will disturb this balance. Is it clear? Okay. Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kamadhuk. Now kamadhuk, ishta kamadhuk is one word. Ishta means desire. Anishtamishtam mishrancha, it will come. Ishtam, anishtam, and mishram. I like, I don't like, I partially like. So ishtakamaduka means my desires which I like, which I want. What is kamaduka? Kamadhuk is Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is a cow in Indra's place. In the Swarga, whatever you ask, you will get it. Kamam kamam dodhi eva kamadhuk. You desire, I want a house, Kamadhenu will give you a house. You desire, I want annam, panam, it will give you. Whatever you desire, this Kamadhuk or Kamadhenu will give. Okay. Now, you will say, how is it possible? How is it possible? Many of the things which we thought was impossible are seemingly looked as possible today. Can you communicate to someone who is sitting in US in a fraction of a second? I can. Why? One email, one WhatsApp message, it has gone there. Correct? Before the mobiles and computers, do you feel it was possible? You say, no, 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 it is impossible. Correct? Like that, few things are very much possible when we see it that way, that capability is there in Prakriti to reconstitute what you want, where you want. The rishis never went into any laboratory to do anything. Their laboratory was inside them. It was a very active laboratory, and that's what they have written down. Finally, this is what they have, it has come to their mind. And today, scientifically, many of things are proven also. So, it is a matter of knowledge which is available at a point of time by which you say, I believe this or I don't believe this. Okay. Whenever we see karma phala, drishta karma phala, we agree. When we say adrishta karma phala, they will say that is cock and bull story. Correct? Same way, kamadhuk can be a cock and bull story if you have limited thought process of what it is. But if we can imagine a lot of things which is beyond our current scope of logic, many of the things are possible. ESP, extrasensory perception. What is the logic behind it? What is the science behind it? They are yet to prove few things. But that doesn't mean if proof is not there, you cannot say it is not there. It is very much there. Like that, Kamadhuk is a concept which says that your desires are going to get fulfilled if you just propitiate. Jo mante mil jayega. Jackpot. Jackpot milega, samajh lo na. Whatever it is. Okay. So which means that one is if you are going to work with yajna, your ishtakama will reduce. Whatever ishtakama will be there, that itself will be need and not greed. And for need, this Prithvi has got a lot. The number of people living in this universe today, in this world today, this planet Earth, hasn't it grown leaps and bounds over the past few centuries? Right? It was far low, now it has gone up to 7 billion, right? Human beings. To that extent, how many forests have gone off? How many waters have got reclaimed? Think. Okay. How much of imbalance we have created? Ishtakamaduk. You understand? Without yajna spirit. Without yajna spirit. Whom it is going to impact? Us only, our children only, our great grandchildren only. To them only they are going to face. Are we getting it? And this is what Krishna says. Focus on that. Work within the constraints and the rules of the game. It will always benefit you. But running away is not an answer. Okay. So first he said, a person can never be without doing work. It is Bhagavan's fear, danda marega, do the work. Third is he is saying now, do it as karma yoga, and karma yoga is yajna. Because yajna is the manual which is given by Prajapati when these human beings were created. Working with that, you will be able to maintain the ecological balance by which many generations will benefit out of it, not just you and your other people in the generation. Is it clear? Very apt, very meaningful, very necessary. And this is what is the reality, rather than doing something to show someone that I'm doing something called sustainable without even knowing what is the other pros and cons of it. A very simple example is, we all human beings breathe in oxygen, correct? And breathe out carbon dioxide. Very true. I don't think there is anyone who is breathing in carbon dioxide and giving off oxygen. Everyone are breathing in, every human being is breathing in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. How many years these human beings are there? Animals are there. Think how many millennia, how many centuries? So many. Okay. What should happen to the oxygen? It should have got reduced, correct? कम हो जाना मनता था. What did Bhagavan do? He created trees. The trees take this carbon dioxide, make their food, and give out oxygen. So now both are balancing. One consumes carbon dioxide, oxygen, gives carbon dioxide. The other person consumes carbon dioxide, gives oxygen. Makes sense? So, if this logic is clear, and everyone, you don't have to be scientific, educated, anything, even a farmer, even an illiterate knows trees help us to get oxygen. Yes or no? Which is required for me to live. Forget Ishtakamadu. I have to live means I need oxygen. To ensure that more people live, 7 billion, to ensure more people live in a given area, if more people are there, should we have more trees or less trees? And we are so intelligent. We chop the tree for making a jungle, concrete jungle. Yes or no? Think. It's a matter to think. The law is, if more people are there, more trees need to be there, then there will be a coexistence. One is required by the other. The trees need carbon dioxide, you need oxygen, and then both work together. And we, like very intelligent people, we cut the trees and then create concrete jungle to accommodate more people. And where are they going to get oxygen? That I don't know. That I don't know. That is not my problem. It is there now everywhere, taken for granted. Are we able to get this? Very simple. You don't need to have a lot of intelligence and basic. As a human being, everyone will understand this. So we know it. Our behavior is exactly the opposite. Why? Yajna is not known to us. The rule book is not known to us. No one has told us follow the rule book. Has the asthma grown? Has the diseases also grown? From what more we need as knowledge and information to say the way we are living is absolutely adharmika, not in the yajna. Is it clear? That is why He says, Saha yajñā praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam. You both are complementary to each other. You have to work with the rule book has to work with the people, and then only both will work to, it will work. रेल का दो पटरी है ये, एषवोस् त्विष्ट कामधुक्. Correct? The faster we understand and we align our lives to some, at least be sensitive to that, the extent of damage which we do being insensitive will reduce. The extent of damage. Okay, right. Then we'll go to the next one now. And hopefully there is no doubt in this. He says, Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyatha. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ. देवान् भावयत अनेन ते देवाः भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परम अवाप्स्यथ. Again, he is bringing now another aspect. First, he said, Prajapati he made you and the Prajaha and the Yajnaha. And both together, when you work, it gives you all the benefit. Now he says, along with you, he has also made someone else. And they are dependent on you, and you are dependent on them. When your mutual dependency are getting fulfilled, then coexistence will happen, and what you call as cosmos will maintain. Yajna, simple. It's a part of yajna only. Cooperative endeavor. I live, as I mentioned now, one person's hand to other person's mouth. That person's hand to this person's mouth. Aren't both living together? Perfectly fine. Like that, he says, Anena yuyam devan bhavayata. Anena, together, yuyam, both of y'all. Tvam yuvam yuyam, all of y'all. You all. Bhavayata. Te devaha vaha bhavayantu. Evam, like that, parasparam bhavayantaha. Shreyaha paramavapsyata. You know, in short, if I have to give a very, very simple statement, of course it is a devalued statement, but easy to understand. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. दोनों का काम हो जाएगा. It means that cooperative endeavor. But here it is a high valued thing. I scratch your back, you scratch your back. You normally tell कि भाई तू मेरा काम कर दे, मैं तेरा काम कर देगा, and चल भाई. It is not in a dharmika way when we say this, but in a dharmika way it is devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu. Okay, devan bhavayataha. Okay, what does this mean? Bhavayataha means nourish. Devan. So let the devas nourish you. In turn, you nourish the devas. Parasparam bhavayantaha. When there is a mutual nourishment happening to each other, Shreyaha paramavapsyatha. It will only give the supreme good. Just looking at it, it seems to be very thoda illogical लगता है. So we have to, the illogic part is not in someone nourishing me. I nourishing someone is going to be a question. How can I nourish the devas? I am good for nothing. I am always with a begging bowl to this deva, give me this, give me this, give me this. How can I nourish him? For that, we have to understand what is deva. This particular one, such a beautiful way from the earlier one where we refer to a manual, correct? The earlier one is the manual and you. So you working with the manual, getting whatever you want as the benefit. Now we says there are many things which are complementary. Only when you work complementary to that, when these two complementary, both the halves join, then it works. In short, Krishna is referring to cycles, not bicycle, tricycle, water cycle, food cycle. Are we able to get this? Who are devas? Let us understand this. Devan bhavayata. Who are devas? Who give us something, right? So, in a very, very transactional way, when we look at it, if I've got eyes, I need to have sight. Okay, who gives sight? Suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hridaye. So Surya Bhagavan gives me sight. Very, very transactionally. If I want strength, Indro me bale shritaha. Okay. Vayur me prane shritaha. Agnir me vachi shritaha. सूर्यो मे चक्षुषि श्रितः चंद्रमा मे मनसि श्रितः दिशो मे श्रोत्रे श्रिताः आपो मे रेतसि श्रिताः पृथिवी मे शरीरे श्रिता ओषधि वनस्पतयो मे लोमसु श्रिताः इंद्रो मे बले श्रितः पर्जन्यो मे मूर्धनि श्रितः ईशानो मे मन्यो श्रितः आत्मा आत्मनि श्रितः. So beautiful mantras. I'm just talking one line after jumping two lines. It's a complete one. Okay. Hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. All this will keep coming in between. So I've just jumped and taken only those lines where each devata is giving their ability in me for my that indriya to work. Let it be jnanendriya, let it be karmendriya. When you don't have that, my pancha prana, that is the time we understand this devatas important. Correct? When the going is good, you will never have a problem. 2 days constipation, then you come to know which devata has to be there. I tried that, I tried this, I did this also, I did all the pati. None of the patis are working. That is the time we look for Venkatachalapati. Let me try that pati also. But if that pati was considered, then every pati would have worked. Okay, exactly this is what he's saying. Now, this is a very, very transactional way of looking at it, where you feel that one devata is giving me this. You can enhance this. I contribute to the earth contributes to me. I contribute to the air contributes to me. I contribute to the water contributes to me. collectively we contribute to the water collectively contributes to us. Are we able to get this? The next one is specific one cycle he takes, but the seeding for that cycle is in this shloka itself. Says Devan Bhavayatanena, these cycles protect you, ensure that you are able to live in this world. If you are the consumer and do not contribute back to the cycle is broken. Think, cycle contributes to you. If you do not contribute back, if you are only the consumer here and not a contributor, over a period of time, such a cycle itself will not be there. If the cycle is not there, you are a bigger loser. Think about it. Very simple example. Is not everyone talking about global warming, unseasonal rains? What do you mean by that? That is what he refers. Devan Bhavayatanena. That unseasonal rains are our reflection, our karma reflection collectively. See, as much as, please understand this, huh? This is a very, very important concept. As much as we have got our own individual prarabdha, we have got our individual prarabdha, we all agree to that. There is something called collective prarabdha. If you are in a particular cooperative housing society, and if that society's prarabdha is bad, however good is your prarabdha, you still will have to face problems. Collectively, individual person's prarabdha decides what is the society's prarabdha. It is not coming from outside. Yes or no? Just simple thing. If you know four societies around you, and if you feel that my society is the best, what does it mean? Collectively, our prarabdha is better. That is why our society is better compared to the other three societies. Why? All in our society are looking towards one, are aligned. There is a cooperative endeavor. That is why there is some benefit happening to everyone. That is why we all are feeling good. Isn't it collective prarabdha? Isn't it coming out of individual prarabdha? Same way, extended states prarabdha, Jharkhand versus Uttar Pradesh versus West Bengal versus Maharashtra versus Kerala versus Punjab, take any state. Don't you see state prarabdha working? Isn't it dependent on people's prarabdha there? Collectively, states prarabdha working on country's prarabdha. Country versus other country. Pakistan versus India. Now you tell me whose prarabdha is better from our view. From our view. Is there anyone who will say, no, no, our prarabdha is bad, Pakistan's is better? It is very clearly visible that they are very into a tough situation. So our prarabdha is better. Both have got the independence at the same time. That is much smaller country compared to our country. Here we have so many states, so many languages, so many things. Everything is there. That it is much relatively less than us. Still, prarabdha did not change. Why? It is those people's prarabdha, their attitude, their giving back. Everyone plundered from their country just to fill their pockets. Yes or no? So we contribute to the situation contributes to us. Like that, humanity contributes to Pancha Mahabhutas contribute to us. Isn't it logical? It need not be scientific, But isn't it logical? Scientific, we can see it later because this is not the area of science. First, we understand dharma as a logic, then we are convinced to do it. Here, we need a conviction that whatever small I do, for example, whatever small I do, isn't the beneficiary going to be India at large overall when you look at economics? Or yes, collectively we are. If we are saying only 3% pay tax, it is India's tax. If it becomes 5%, it is still India's tax. So our prarabdham is country's prarabdham. Country's prarabdham together becomes continents or the world's prarabdham. Are we able to get this? And our outlooks and all are different because our background and view have been taught to be different. This dharmika view is not there, which was there earlier in every place. Everyone had a view that we should not do anything against the nature. Don't break cycles. Respect the cycles. If you cannot contribute to it, do not plunder it. If I cannot contribute to it, I at least stand aside and keep quiet. I will not plunder it. Today, everyone is there to plunder everything. I want to conquer, science wants to conquer this earth, the nature. Can anyone conquer it? This concept of conquering itself is wrong. Think how beautifully this concept of conquering. What is there to conquer? When water is there, I make the best use of the water. Whatever I don't want, I just leave it, it goes back to the sea. I can utilize water for cooking, for living, for drinking, for gardening, for everything, for including for energy. I use whatever, the balance goes. What is there to conquer? I need to master the principles how it works. For that, I have to submit. I should not conquer the water, I should not conquer the land, I should not conquer Agni. I should submit to it to understand the principles how they work and align myself so that I am the bigger recipient of it. Otherwise, they will be there. The cycles by itself never break. The animal kingdom can never break the cycle. The flora and the fauna can never break the cycle. Only human beings break cycles. Only human beings break cycles. And these cycles are called Devan. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyata. Earlier, how it was fostered, every person used to do homa at home. Every day there used to be Agnaye Swaha, Indraya Swaha. Okay, so by that you are mentally submitting and you will never do something which is going to harm any one of these. You will be alert in your day to day action. Correct? Now, simple thing. Do we feel that the what we have got is purely because of our own effort? If it was a pure reflection of our effort, there have been so many things we have done much better, but the result has been miserable. There have been certain days where your effort is fantastic, but result has been miserable. There are certain days where your effort is, you yourself will say, oh my God, I did this, and the results are fantastic. You don't know this. Why? It is 60% what I put an effort, 40% the devatas have to bless. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. all the three together only will work. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. If Adhyatmika is seeing the benefit, Adhyatmika has put the effort, Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika has blessed it to give that result. Okay. And this is where that concept of karma phala data comes. Ishvara is there who decides when to give what. Correct? And our Purva Mimamsa, the Karma Kandas never believe this. They'll say, do this, the result has to come. Okay. Krishna very clearly says, Devan Bhavayatanena, not just doing it physically, saying that Indra Yaswaha, you have to submit that Ishvara is there. Then he will ensure that the cycles are restored. Why? They depend on us. We depend on them. As we say, one person's hand, other person's mouth, other person's hand, one person's mouth. Only scale is different. When you see yourself, you're a very small person putting a very small, like one drop of water. When you look at the water, it is an ocean of water which is collective of so many drops. Does it make sense? Devan Bhavayatanena, that the word Deva, if you are considering that someone is sitting in Swarga, one Indra is sitting there, he is going to benefit. No. Please understand it the other way around. All the cycles which you see, so many cycles we have learnt in our own this. Apart from that, there are so many cycles we know, which is not mentioned. Not everything is cyclic. You enter and you die, but in that cycle continues. I can only be, if I'm a contributor, I can consume, I can be a contributor and move. But if everyone consumes, the cycle will go off. And if the cycle goes off, no one will be a consumer and you will have to die. Because it is not available for anyone. Isn't it a simple concept? So the first concept he said, Yajnaha prajaha srishtva anena prasavishyadva. So you, along with the rule book, with dharma, when you work together for a mutual benefit, it will always be much bigger benefit to everyone. Second, he says, you are an inseparable part of any cycle. When that cycle is restored by you, the cycle supports you. When you plunder the cycle will go off, it will get distorted, and then that is your reflection, you will get distorted. Okay, I do not know, we may call some of these things as veheme, but this adrishta blessings, many people would have experienced in their life. Don't look at logic. Don't look at logic. But there is something which blesses and goes in Arine. This was something I was surprised how this happened. I'll give you a small example. And similar to this, you would have seen many. In 2008, I'm talking about Hiranandani Estate, Thane, nothing outside. In 2008, the Ayyappa committee decided to do Maharudra Yajna. We did one Maharudra Yajna in Hiranandani Estate. Normally done in December. Around 20th, 21st, that was the timing it will be. People in Thane, do you expect rains to be there during that time? Afternoon, 2 o'clock, do you expect rains to be there? Does any logic say rains will be there? Not the previous day, not the next day, on that day, after the moment Purnahuti happened, there was a shower for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. And then went off, the sun was there. People who saw that came and told me specific, I also saw that while doing the Purnahuti. And this is what we call as Adrishta blessing. There is no logic behind it. Don't, this is, it is not something that you wait for something to happen, but when something happens like this, you know it, you're doing it right. You have not done anything wrong. That collective endeavor, that yajna spirit is restored completely. Okay, like that, such adrishta blessings you can see from these cycles. And when that happens, it gives a lot of confidence, motivation that no, this is correct what I have done. Because it is dharmika, it is perfectly in place, it is aligning with the cycle, and that's how the cycles respond to it. Simple. You go near a tree, you know that there is a Japanese experiment. Two trees were there. One person used to go and always talk good about the tree and be very cheerful and happy. The other person used to go near that tree and say that we are planning to cut you. You're in our way. We don't want. And suddenly you see after some days the other tree automatically started falling down. Parasparam bhavayanta. They also have emotions. They can't express it. They understand it because everything is a living entity in that perspective. That is what is called Devan, Devaha. Our trees are Deva, our waters are Deva, correct? And our Shastras very clearly give so many shlokas to revere them. Ashwatho Vatavriksha Chandana Taru Mandara Kalpadrumaha Jambu Nimba Kadamba Chutara Jam, Jambu Nimba Kadamba Chuta Larata Chuta Kadamba Chuta Larala Chu Tarala it should be Kadamba Chutarala Vrikshascha Kshirinaha Vrikshascha Ye Kshirinaha Sarve Te Phalasamyuta Pratidinam Vibhajanam Rajate Ramyam Chaitra Ratham Cha Nandanavanam Kurvantu no Mangalam. Such a beautiful Mangala shloka by Kalidasa. All the trees bowing down, namaskara to the trees. Same way, all the waters. Ganga, Sindhu, Saraswati, Chayamuna, Godavari, Narmada, Kaveri, Sarayu, Mahendra Tanaya, Charmanvati, Vedika, Kshipra, Vetravati, Mahasura Nadi, Khyata Chaya, Gandaki, Purna Jalai, Samudra Sahita, Kurvantu no Mangalam. If one chants this, will you think of doing any harm to the nature? Sandhya Vandana has got Apova idagam sarvam vishwa bhutanyapaha pranava apaha pashava apaha annamapaha amritamapaha samradapaha viradapaha swaradapaha chandagasyapaha jyotigasyapaha yajugasyapaha satyamapaha sarva devata apaha. When you are going to say such praises about water, will you do wrong to water? When you praise the trees, will you do wrong to the trees? So it is not just the action, our attitude right from the childhood, how that nurturing is, how that culture is, to look reverential to everything. Let it be trees, let it be water, let it be animals, let it be human beings, let it be devatas. Everything is with a reverential attitude. Then we do not break these cycles. We work with them. We may be ignorant. Ignorant is no problem. The day you understand, you will align. But being knowledgeable and not valuing it just for our own sake, that is not acceptable. Why? It is going to perish you only. Okay. As we say in pranayama, submit to prana shakti, submit to that electricity, the electricity will allow you to play. Same way, submit to the devatas. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyata. They get shreyas, you get shreyas. What is their shreyas? Continuity. The cycle continuity is a big shreyas for them. For you, what? You are also alive and your needs are taken care. Coexisting, mutually living together. Isn't it really vibrant, clear, very, very specific? Asking us to align with the nature. Bhagavan is no other place other than in the nature. In everything, yadyat karomi tattad akhilam shambho tava aradhanam. Whatever I do, in anything what I do, let everything be your aradhana. Then where is the question of conquering? There is no question of conquering. It is only submission, submission, and aligning. The more we contribute, the more you get, the more you consume, the less you will have. This is the golden rule of our dharma, and the reason why we are there for so many years, thousands of years, as a vibrant culture is because of our contribution and not consuming from the world. We have always contributed, no patents, nothing, no one accepts, no one gives wawa shabashi, still contribution will continue. So contribute. And this contribution is called karma yoga. Hasn't Krishna given so many examples to make us understand what karma yoga is? Is it really difficult? Have we to set aside saying, no, no, this is my karma and this is karma yoga I will do. 1 hour karma yoga I will do, 23 hours I will do karma. That attitude will never work. Do karma yoga, you don't have to do karma. Everything what you want, you will get in plenty. One person asked, how should I get more money? One Mahatma told only one answer. You give dhanam of what you have. It will come back to you in multiples. First put your hand in the pocket and give. Then ask how I will get more. Give. No one has lost anything by giving. People have lost only by squandering and taking. By giving, no one has lost anything. दिल खोल के जो अपने पास है दे दो, पैसा रहने दो, ज्ञान रहने दो. Let more beneficiaries be without an expectation. That is karma yoga. You will automatically align with the dharma. And once you align with dharma, the dharma itself will give you a lot. As karma phala. That is Devata's blessings. Is it clear? Okay. So how nicely 2 shlokas he has taken. Now he will go to one example of a cycle he will take it. Okay. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devano. After that, now he is going to tell how the devas work. And if you are breaking the cycle, what will happen? First, he has said that how to be with the cycle. In the next shloka, he says, in case you break the cycle, he uses a very harsh word. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradayebhyaha yo bhunte stena eva saha. You are a chore. Stena means chore. If you are breaking that cycle, if you are contributing to break that cycle, you are a thief. You are a thief. Very clearly. More derogatory words cannot be used here. Okay, you are plundering and going. Stena eva saha, which we will see in the next Saturday. We will see from 12th shloka, Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.